All right, hello there, and welcome to my skincare / yoga studio in my home. First and foremost, I want to say that I hope each and every one of you are staying healthy, nourishing yourselves, and also nourishing those that might be around you at this time. Let's really hope that it's nice and short-lived. So, that all being said, I don't want to spend too much time chattering away. Today we're going to offer up a hip balancing series. I do have yoga props with me, but I just would like to say that you can certainly substitute props with things such as books, towels, blankets, belts, scarves, all that type of thing. My contact information will also be included along with this video if you have any questions whatsoever. My Venmo account will also be there as well, but that's entirely up to you. So if all goes well, hopefully I'll be doing more of these videos. So that being said, today we're going to start off with butterfly pose. As many of you know, I always offer at least 2 variations of each posture. And during this 3-minute period, I will cue when we are halfway through if you feel like doing both options. So, starting with butterfly pose. We're going to sit on the edge of a blanket and draw our feet together and let our knees fall open. We want to scoot our sits bones back and slowly start to melt forward into this posture. If this is really not good for you today, then using a towel or a blanket or a bolster to lie back on and let your arms spread out nice and wide. Either or is beautiful. I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. Please begin. So during this time, the breath, right? We're really trying not just to take care of the physical body, but our mental health, our emotional health as well. And really starting to calm down that sympathetic nervous system to bring the parasympathetic nervous system more on board. So, as you slowly allow yourself to soften and relax into this posture, start to take deeper and deeper breaths here, please. You might choose, if you're rounding forward, to let your head hang heavy, or you can certainly use a block or a few books to rest your head upon. Now, as I mentioned, I would cue when we are halfway through this 3-minute time period, so you are just now halfway through, either choosing to deepen into your posture or slowly allowing yourself to switch up your variation if you so choose. Eyes are closed and or just really very heavy, and just continue to start to expand the capability, the capacity of your breath. You have another minute here. Let's take one more deep breath right here. And then I'd like you to choose, if you're bowing forward, slowly bring your spine back upright. Or if you are lying back, just extend your legs out for a moment and take some deep breaths in stillness. Again, here I'd like you to keep your eyes closed or at least very heavy and slowly allow yourself to come up to a seated position. So our next posture is going to be, Sphinx pose. So I personally would like to take a blanket to the top of my mat and have a block handy. You might choose to use a bolster or a nice rolled up blanket behind you. Coming into this posture, lying down, letting your elbows be underneath your shoulders, but let your spine relax and soften here. Some of us really enjoy a block for our head to just soften your spine. So again, you've got 3 minutes in this posture. If having your elbows underneath your shoulders is just kind of too much for your spine, bring your elbows out a little bit more in front of you and let your rib cage take on the weight of your spine. Some of us might also choose to take our legs apart, bend our knees, and let our feet rest in towards one another. So just breathe here. The function is helping to restore that nice curve of the lumbar spine. So relaxing down, choosing to rest your head or let it hang heavy. Soften your spine. Continue with nice, slow, deep breaths. Now as we settle into these postures, let's see if we can now even lengthen out the exhale a little bit longer than the inhalation, really bringing on board that parasympathetic or calming rest and digest nervous system. Now, as I tell you, you have about another minute and a half left in this posture. Notice what you're feeling in your low back. If something is moving towards maybe a pinching sensation, we want to slowly let ourselves maybe even rest down a little bit more here. But we're really trying to restore that beautiful curve of our lumbar spine. So some of us might stay in Sphinx pose. Others of us might take our hands and place them down and press up into seal pose. If you're going to press up into seal pose, again here, you want to soften your spine, and that includes your neck. You have about 45 seconds left. Let's take one more nice deep breath. And ever so gently, ever so slowly, let yourself lower all the way down and rest. You might choose to rest your head straight down or turn your head to one side. And for those of us that have chosen to turn our head to one side, please slowly rotate your neck to the other side. All right, let's take our time slowly coming up. Take a moment, because I think this is so important. Please come up onto your hands and knees. And I just want you to spend just a little bit of time gently moving your spine, maybe inhaling into our cow and exhaling into our cat. You can always take a moment and slide your hips back into a child's pose. All right, let's come up into a seated position for a moment, either choosing hero's pose, such as I am in, or cross-legged. So bringing it right into the lovely outer hip area here. So choosing either in yin, our swan pose. Let's start with our right leg. Bringing our right leg forward and extending your left leg back. So some of us might rest a blanket or a block underneath this right hip. So with this posture, you can choose to stay upright, still incorporating that back bend, or you can slowly start to lower down. Some of us even like to take and stretch over to the left. If this posture is not your cup of tea, then go ahead and lie down on your back. Cross your right ankle over. You can place your left foot on a wall or interlace your hands, gently grasping behind your knee or on top of your shin. So you have 3 minutes here. Take the posture that best is allowing you a nice stretch on that outer right hip. So again, keeping in mind here, your left leg doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Your left leg can be definitely bent, and you can choose to bow forward or bow over to the left. Entirely your choice, and I will let you know when we're halfway through, because some of us like to stay upright. Sometimes when you stay upright, you get that nice stretch along those left hip flexors and add a little bit of a back bend. So it's your choice. Slow, deep breaths. And please occasionally offer up that nice open mouth. And just let it go. So you've been here now for just under a minute. You still have 2 solid minutes left. I'll let you know when we are halfway through here. So settling into whatever feels best to you. And now as you have these minutes, I want you to close your eyes or keep your eyes heavy and just feel where you still might be gripping in your body. Whether it's maybe your fingers, maybe it's the back of your neck, or your tongue or your jaw. So wiggle around your toes, maybe move your shoulders, relax and settle in. All right, you still have 1.5 minutes left in this posture. So that might mean you bow forward or you come up. Always feel free to explore, maybe taking your torso over to the right for a few moments or over to the left. Your eyelids. So even though it's just a small area of our body, right? You still can hold tension. The inner corners of your eyes, the outer corners of your eyes. So relax and soften your eyelids. Feel your eyebrows relax. The muscles in between your eyebrows. Just soften a little bit here. You've got about another 30 seconds. All right, let's take one more deep breath. Now again, your release is entirely up to you. For me personally, I'm going to come up onto my hands and knees and just extend my right leg behind me, place the ball of my foot down, and gently press back through my heel, allowing some release of that compression on my right knee. Some of you might wish to come up into down dog. You certainly have the opportunity to be once again on your hands and knees and taking a few cow-cat movements with your spine. All right, take another full breath. And then I want you to take it on over to the other side. So either choosing to bring that left leg forward, right leg extending back. Remember, it can be bent off to the side, or maybe on this side, the other variation feels better to you and we lie on our backs, crossing our left ankle over. Some of us might even choose to put a block underneath our right foot, or you can interlace your hands behind your knee or on top of your shin. So if you're on your back, you really want to relax your shoulders down, maybe move your head a little bit side to side, just easing your neck. So sometimes for me, I like to maybe lean to my right a little bit. That might intensify the stretch along the left outer hip area. Whatever works for you, eventually settling in and deepening your breath. Again, here on this side, I will cue when we are halfway through. Okay, another deep breath right here. And then you still have another minute and a half, so you can stay right where you are, back off the posture, deepen further into the posture, or switch up the posture however you would like. Still continuing with the stretch on your outer left hip area. Let's see if we can continue to lengthen out the exhalation. So we still want to take full deep inhales, but the exhalation is a little bit longer, and maybe it's getting even longer and even longer. Sometimes when we think we've taken out all the air, we want to draw our tummy in and up just a little bit, squeezing out even a little bit more air. About another 30 seconds here. All right, one more nice long breath. And a slow release. So, as you release from your posture, you want to at least find a couple of moments of just complete stillness. All right, let's please work our way back to a seated position for a brief demonstration of our next posture. The main focus of this next posture are your lovely hamstrings. So, some of you that are used to me, familiar with me, I'm going to say, let's extend our right leg, and your left leg can be in, like so, or it can be flipped around the other way. We're targeting the back of your right leg. So what's happening over here has to be comfortable for your left knee and your left hip as well. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and flip my leg around. Again, we want to sit on the edge of that blanket, so our hips are going with us, and we're not staying vertical or our hips tilting back while we are trying to extend and reach forward. So again, you've got 3 minutes. Allowing yourself to slowly melt in. Some of us are going to use a block for our head. Some variations, some options here are to take a bolster in your midsection. Relax and soften. I personally am going to use both a bolster and a block. Okay, so continuing in with this posture, we've just begun. We want to feel also that compression on the front side of our body. It's really working our digestive system as well here. So if the compression feels too constricting with a blanket or a bolster in the midsection, just go ahead and remove it off to the side and let yourself just relax and settle in As always, I will cue when we are halfway through. So we're not going for that stretch to be super, super, super intense. We want to just feel our bodies gently opening up to the compression as well as the stretch in the hamstrings and maybe even into your low back. Take another nice deep breath right here, knowing now that you are halfway through. So you have another minute and a half. There is that fine, fine, fine line between a stretch, a discomfort, and pain. And we never want things to be moving towards pain, right? And only you know. So as you take these deep breaths, notice where you might be resisting versus sinking into or relaxing into. Right now, hopefully we're really starting to feel our breath expanding more and more with each minute that goes by. So take one more deep breath here, please. Now let's go ahead and use our hands and our arms to gently bring ourselves back upright. Go ahead and lean back on your hands, extend your legs out, close your eyes, and rest. All right, let's take a moment and flex our feet, strengthen our legs, and then relax and soften everything, just increasing the blood flow. So, switching sides. Left leg extends, choosing to bring your right leg in or flipping it around behind you. Scooting your sits bones back again so your hips are going with you. In any forward fold, we want our hips to have that forward or anterior tilt. So again, 3 minutes here. Slowly rest and relax, allowing yourself to take your time working into each and every posture. Again, I will cue when we are halfway through. So my offering is always this. You're wanting to feel yourself melting into the posture and not pulling yourself or forcing yourself to deepen into the posture. It's a softening process. All right, you still have another beautiful minute and a half left. You are your own best guide, your own best teacher. So know when things are becoming too intense, maybe back off a little bit. You've got plenty of time to ease back into the posture. If you feel yourself, the stretch and things like that, just slowly starting to ebb away, then that's your body's way of saying, okay, you can go ahead and move a little bit deeper into the posture. All right, another deep breath right here. Your spine is a beautiful, beautiful structure, but it is very heavy, so gently take your time to roll up out of your posture, slowly releasing your legs long, and just relax. All right, so I'm going to offer up one more posture here, coming into a twist of choice. So our spine is such an interesting structure, and you've got to make it your own. Each and every posture is your own. So I'm going to offer up a supine twist today, lying down on your back. I'm going to cross my left leg over my right leg, shift my hips to the left, and take my legs over to the right. I'm going to use a blanket to support my legs because I want my chest and my shoulders to relax down comfortably. If you're kind of feeling this in like one particular area of your spine and it just seems a bit much, uncross your legs. Just bring your knees together. Some of us might even put a block in between our knees. So go ahead and come into your twist with your legs dropping over to the right, and I will set the timer for 3 minutes. My suggestion for coming out of a twist is either to uncross your legs if they're crossed and roll onto your right side because it's just nicer for your spine. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then let's gently roll onto our backs. And maybe just let your legs go long for a moment. Just give yourself that nice release of the twist. It's a beautiful soaking of the spinal cord itself, the intervertebral discs, adding more moisture, more fluidity to those discs. So I know a lot of us are going to want to take a moment to hug our knees into our chest. I just ask you to do it slow, right? Bringing in one knee and then the other. Make it your own. You can rock side to side, circle out your low back. And then as we move to the other side, we don't move into the other side with the expectation that it's going to feel the same, right? So I'm going to go ahead and switch my blanket over to my left side, cross right leg over, shift my hips to the right, take my legs over to the left. Today, for me, this is kind of too much to cross my legs. So I'm going to go ahead and uncross my legs because we want both of our shoulder blades to be able to relax down. In other words, if your right shoulder is really staying lifted up off the ground, we want to try and ease that shoulder down. So again, here you've got 3 minutes on this side. And let your head move a little bit, and then just let your neck settle wherever it's going to feel best. Just because our legs are over to the left doesn't mean that our gaze has to be over to the right. In fact, for me again today, I feel like I'm holding my head to the right, so I'm just going to let my head be in a neutral position. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Let's go ahead and take one more deep breath. Your choice as always, whether you wish to roll onto your left side for a couple of breaths or very, very gently come onto your back. Eventually that's where we're all going to meet anyway. So I just want you to take your time getting there. So take a moment here. Once you come onto your back, Let's give ourselves a few moments, whether it is feet apart and letting your knees fall in towards one another, or whether you choose to bring your feet together and let your knees fall apart. That is entirely up to you. Very different movements on our hips. I just want us to take a few moments, and of course, if you would like your legs just to be long, totally cool as well. All right, so let's go ahead and hug our knees to our chest. Again, you might take that happy baby pose, or you might just choose to move your low back around a little bit. I am going to suggest here, before we settle into a Shavasana, I'm going to suggest for you to extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Now, some of us really do like to put a block underneath our low back, or to support our low back, I should say. But just take a few moments with your legs in the air, and you can even just kind of relax them a little bit. This is so great for your circulation and for your lymphatic system. So, eyes closed, just a few deep breaths right here. All right, let's lower our legs down, and I'm going to suggest a couple of things for Shavasana. So, if you have a bolster or even a couple of blankets to put underneath your lower legs, just to elevate your legs, this is really lovely for your hip flexors and for your low back. And then some of us really, really appreciate, as we settle in here, some of us really, really appreciate a blanket on our midsection and just kind of tucking it in. What this does is it acts almost as like a little hug, and it keeps your core warm, which helps the warmth of your entire body. So however you choose to be in your Shavasana, whether it's maybe legs up the wall or just lying down with no props at all, entirely up to you. I will call you out when it is time. So it can be really quite lovely here as you settle into your Shavasana to maybe tighten and tense everything up, like tense all your muscles and squeeze your fists and slam your eyes shut, and then just shake it out and let it all go. Let's take a beautiful, deep, long inhale and nice open mouth exhale. Start with little movements of fingers and toes, maybe wrists and ankles move around. Try to keep your eyes closed. Take a nice full body stretch. Take yourself to your favorite side. Bend your knees, let your head rest on your arm. Still keeping that visual sense out. Bring yourself up to a seated position. All right, so as we draw our hands into our heart center, please press your thumbs into your heart center. Feel that lift of your heart space. Keep your chin in a nice neutral position. Soften and relax your tummy. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. One more, please. Let your eyes rest heavy. Feel your thumbs press into your heart center. Take a moment of gratitude for yourself, for your practice. Please extend your thoughts of health and well-being out to everyone. As always, it is my honor to be allowed to guide you through a practice. As I said at the beginning of our time together, I really, truly miss each and every one of you. Let's stay in touch. This will all be okay. Namaste.